I never know what to say at the start of my videos for an intro. Should I just say hi? Should I say welcome back to my channel? Hi, welcome back to my channel. I feel like such a doofus saying that. I don't know why. Anyway, today's video is just a quick rundown of my touch-up routine. What I do kind of halfway through the day if I need my makeup to last into the evening and I need for it to still look good. I have oily skin, so if I want it to last more than 5 or 6 hours, then some kind of touch-up has to happen. I'm going to feature kind of a mini review of this product, which I picked up a few months ago, last time I was at Sephora. They got me. I was going through that corral of temptation that they have right by the till where you're kind of like stuck there being herded like cattle, and they've got all the fun gimmicky products, gift sets, mini products. You know what I'm talking about. I grabbed this Blotterazzi by BeautyBlender. So what this is it's a blotting tool, and it's meant to be used in place of traditional blotting papers, tissue, those paper toilet seat covers, Starbucks napkins, whatever you use to blot excess oil from your face. This is meant to be like a reusable option. So it's a sponge, comes in a little compact like this with a mirror. And I got the Pro version, I guess. So you get 2 sponges that look like that. So they're egg-shaped, like the traditional beauty blender that you use for applying makeup, but they are like a thin pad, more like a sponge that you get for applying powder. That's kind of what they feel like, the sponge that comes with a lot of powder compacts. And the idea with this is that you use it dry to blot and absorb excess oil from your skin. So the instructions on the back of the compact say to blot larger areas with the wider side of the egg shape and smaller areas with the thinner side. So you take the sponge and you're just going to blot anywhere that you want to remove excess shine. For me, that's primarily on my T-zone. So you're supposed to blot, hold it for a few seconds, and then lift. Inside the compact, they do give you this little plastic sheet that says, "Don't toss me, keep me." You're supposed to keep this. You can keep it in between the 2 sponges so that your dirty sponge stays separated from the clean one. And they also have little instructions on here. It says press, pause, lift. So that's your instructions for how to use the sponge, I guess. Press onto the skin, pause, hold it there for a bit, and then lift it away. And this is actually doing a fairly decent job of knocking back the shine. Across the forehead, always a really shiny area for me. And I like to take the thinner side and kind of smooth out my under eye concealer if that's creased at all or gathered in fine lines. And then I might just lightly go over the outer part of my face. I don't get as oily in those areas, but if I'm having an exceptionally greasy day, there could be a little bit of extra oil around the perimeter of my face as well. So that has knocked back the shine quite a bit without lifting or disturbing too much of the makeup underneath. As well as using this as a blotting tool, you can also use this to apply powder. So it could be kind of a 2-in-1 product. You can take one side of the sponge and use it to blot the oil from your face, flip it over to the clean side, and then use it to powder. And I do find that it's great for picking up just a very small amount of powder so that you don't overdo it and end up looking cakey. I actually prefer using this to powder over a brush. In fact, I'd say I even like this more as a application tool for powder rather than as a blotting tool. But I just wanted to point out that it does kind of have that 2-in-1 function to it. Now I'm not having an exceptionally greasy day today. My skin's actually been a little bit more balanced lately. I've got some skincare products that are really working for me that I'm going to talk about in an upcoming video. When I first got this sponge, it was prior to my new skincare routine, and I was fairly oily at the time, and I didn't feel like this removed as much oil as a blotting paper. It does take some of it off, like you can feel the oil on it after you're done, but it's not as thorough as a blotting paper. So if you have exceptionally oily skin, you may not be as satisfied with this. It might not remove enough oil to really give your skin that fresh, clean feeling that you get when you use like a tissue or a blotting paper or something that's more absorbent. So bottom line, do you need the Blotterazzi sponge in your life? Probably not. If you're already satisfied with blotting papers, these don't really offer a significant improvement in terms of performance, in terms of how well they remove oil from the skin. And they do come with a couple of significant drawbacks. The first one being the whole hygiene issue. You really can only use each sponge once, and then it needs to be washed. So you've got 2 uses, and then you've got something else, the sponges and the compact itself, that have to be washed along with your brushes and everything else, so it's kind of a pain. It's also not going to last forever. I've noticed after several washings that it's already getting little like micro tears around the edges, so just like the regular Beauty Blender, it is eventually going to break down and fall apart and need to be replaced. So it's not really much more cost effective than blotting papers, especially if you just pick up cheap ones from the drugstore, because this compact is $20, and you're probably going to need to replace it every 3 to 6 months depending on how much you use it. So kind of pricey. I'm gonna keep using it for blotting and for powder application until it eventually falls apart, and I may keep the compact because it's kind of handy. It does have a mirror inside and it's a nice size for your handbag, but definitely not something I would bother to repurchase again. So hopefully you found this helpful if you were thinking about picking this up. If you haven't already and you'd like to, please subscribe to my videos, and I will see you next time.